Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, a very different kind of source material today.
Right. Usually we are, wading through dense academic journals or maybe a lengthy business case study. But today we are looking at a primary source document that is, well, it's raw.
Oh, it is incredibly raw.
It's chaotic. And honestly, it kind of reads like a fever dream.
It really does. We are looking at the transcript, the literal spoken and sung words captured from a music video, specifically a video titled Evacuation by the artist Young Dirty Bastard.
And before you ask why we are analyzing a music video transcript, just stick with us.
Right, because this isn't just your standard list of lyrics.
Not at all. It is this wild mix of dialogue, set directions, subconscious outbursts, and very specific logistical demands.
Exactly. It reads like a stream of consciousness manifesto.
Yeah.
It's high energy, it's luxurious, but it's also, and this is key, it's incredibly stressed out.
It really is. It feels like we found a crumpled piece of paper on the floor of a film set that tells the whole, unvarnished story of what it actually takes to make it.
Which is fascinating because it doesn't feel polished.
No.
It feels like a total brain dump.
That is the perfect way to frame it.
Yeah.
So our mission for this deep dive is to really deconstruct this narrative of making big moves.
We're going to look at how this text juxtaposes the glossy reward, the private jets, and the hot tubs with the gritty, panic-inducing reality of actually producing that image.
Right. We are going to unpack the journey from the concrete jungle to the five-star hotel and see what it tells us about the psychology of success.
So let's just jump right in and set the scene. The text does not waste any time.
It really doesn't. We are dropped right into the action. So what is the very first thing that hits us?
Location and status. Immediately.
Well,
right there. The text opens with, "We're in Los Angeles. My plane just landed."
okay, let's pause on my plane.
Yeah.
Because that is a very specific choice of words. It's not the plane or a flight. It's possessive.
Right. In the grammar of success, possessive pronouns do a lot of heavy lifting. My plane implies ownership.
Or at the very least, a very expensive private charter.
Exactly. It signals to the listener, and honestly to the narrator himself, that the level of the game has officially changed. We aren't flying coach anymore.
We have arrived.
We have arrived. It establishes authority instantly.
And we've arrived specifically in Los Angeles.
The center of the entertainment world.
Right. The text anchors us in the geography of fame, but almost immediately after this massive flex about the plane, we get this very grounded, almost awkward interaction.
Oh, I know exactly the line you mean.
The transcript literally reads, "Housekeeper Spanish, do you speak some English?"
I love that detail so much. It is so jarringly real.
It really is. Usually in a success narrative, the service staff are invisible.
Right, they just facilitate the luxury in the background.
But here, the transcript captures the friction of the real world.
You have this high-flying artist trying to communicate with the hotel housekeeper. It grounds the entire fantasy in logistical reality.
Because you can have a private jet, but you still need to ask for extra towels.
Exactly. And there might be a language barrier. It's a touch of cinema verite.
Cinema verite, that is a great term for this.
Yeah, that truthful, observational documentary style where you see all the rough edges.
It feels unscripted, even if it is a music video. It's a total collision of worlds.
Yep.
You have the five-star hotel mentioned explicitly, which is another massive status symbol, but then you have the human element clashing right up against it.
And speaking of the hotel, the text gets very sensory very quickly.
It does. We get, "My hot tub is bubbling and I left the water running."
This is where the text really starts to feel like a loop. The imagery of water is constant throughout this section. Bubbling, running, getting wet.
It creates this overwhelming sense of overflow, abundance.
But also waste, right?
Oh, totally. "I left the water running." That's a very specific kind of negligence that only wealthy people can really afford.
Right. If I leave the water running at my house, I'm worried about the water bill or flooding the bathroom.
Exactly. But here, it's just excess. It's like saying, "I have so much that I don't even need to turn the tap off."
Precisely. It's a signal that resources are no longer scarce. But then the urgency kicks right back in. He says, "I got some ladies coming. We getting wet now."
Now.
Yes. The word "now" is doing a lot of work here.
I noticed that too. "Now" appears constantly in this transcript. It feels like there is zero patience in this text.
That is the rhythm of the new money mindset portrayed here. Immediate gratification.
Right.
There is no "we will celebrate later." It's "we getting wet now."
Yeah.
The transcript captures a complete refusal to wait for anything.
But this is where it gets really weird to me. Right in the middle of this hot tub party setup, we get a section of text that is just baffling.
The cleaning lines.
Yes, the cleaning lines.
This is such a great textual puzzle.
The transcript gives us 3 variations of a really similar phrase in rapid succession. First, it says, my government needs some cleaning.
Right.
Then it says, my cover needs some cleaning. And finally, my girlfriend needs some cleaning.
Okay, so we have to stop here and unpack this. My government needs some cleaning. What on earth does that mean?
Right. Is this a political statement? Is he running for city council?
This is the beauty of analyzing raw transcripts. We have to look at a few different possibilities here. One possibility is simply a phonetic error.
Like the transcription software messed up?
Exactly. The software or the human transcriber couldn't understand the slang or the accent, so government might be a mishearing of garment.
My garment needs cleaning. That would make sense if you just traveled across the country in dirty clothes.
Right.
But government is so specific, and frankly, it's a lot more interesting.
It is. So let's entertain possibility 2. It's slang. In some circles, government refers to your real name.
Oh, your government name.
Yes, or your official business paperwork. So if your government needs cleaning, it could imply legal trouble.
Oh, wow.
You need to clean your record. You need to fix your official reputation.
That takes a really dark turn. That goes from party in a 5-star hotel hot tub to I'm laundering money or I'm hiding from the feds pretty fast.
It does. And then the very next line, my cover needs some cleaning, really reinforces that spy or criminal undertone.
Right, because if your cover is blown or your cover is dirty, you are exposed.
It suggests that the persona we are seeing, this rich guy relaxing in the hotel, is a cover.
And then suddenly he says, my girlfriend needs some cleaning, which brings it right back to the physical, maybe even the crude reality of the party.
It's incredibly jarring.
It is. And whether it's a transcription error or a deliberate lyrical slide, the effect on you as the listener is exactly the same.
Disorientation.
Exactly. You have the high of the luxury mixed with this weird, slightly paranoid need to clean things up.
It suggests that this lifestyle is messy. It's not pristine. It requires constant maintenance.
And it creates this undercurrent of anxiety. Like, sure, the hot tub is bubbling, but what exactly are we cleaning up?
Right.
And that anxiety seems to bleed directly into the next major theme we found, which is the fact that this isn't just a party, it's a job.
Yes. This is the meta-narrative of the entire text. The text breaks the fourth wall repeatedly.
We aren't just listening to a song about a party.
No, we are reading the transcript of the filming of the video about the party.
It is so explicit. He says quiet on the set and don't get the camera wet.
Quiet on the set is the ultimate buzzkill for a party, isn't it?
Totally. You are trying to have this wild ladies coming over moment, but then someone is yelling at you to be quiet because they are rolling sound.
It completely undercuts the fantasy.
It reminds me of those Instagram influencers who take a picture of a perfect breakfast, but they stood on a chair for 10 minutes to get the lighting right and the food is cold.
It does. And I think that is exactly why this text is so valuable. It deconstructs the cool factor. You see the heavy machinery behind the image.
There is a line that made me laugh out loud. He says, forgot your lines, goddammit.
Oh, I felt that in my soul. That is pure, unfiltered frustration.
It is the universal nightmare.
But think about it in context. He is supposed to be this big movie star, this massively successful rapper. But in this moment, he is just an employee messing up a basic task. He is failing to deliver. It humanizes him instantly.
That goddammit is so visceral. It reminds us that this is a performance. The luxury is literally a set. The hot tub is a prop.
And the text openly acknowledges the stress of that performance. It explicitly says there's a panic.
But then he immediately tries to suppress it. He says there's a panic, no need to panic.
It's a real-time tug of war in the narrator's psyche.
It's cognitive dissonance.
Exactly. What psychologists call cognitive dissonance. He is experiencing high stress, the actual panic of the set. But his brand, his identity, demands that he be cool and unbothered.
So he has to verbally command the panic to stop.
Right. No need to panic.
It sounds like he is trying to convince himself more than anyone else in the room.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially because there is a literal countdown clock ticking in the background of this text. He says, we are evacuating in T-minus 15 hours.
That line changes the genre of the text entirely. We went from a music video to a heist movie.
T-minus 15 hours.
It's military terminology. It implies a hostile extraction.
And why evacuation? Usually you evacuate a disaster zone. You don't evacuate a luxury 5-star hotel.
That is the central question of the piece, isn't it? Why use emergency language for a luxury experience?
Right.
It suggests that This lifestyle isn't a permanent residence. It's a raid
You get in, you get the footage, you get the glory, and you get out before something goes wrong.
before the government catches up or the
Mm.
money runs out.
Or before the weather turns, because the environment itself seems to be actively attacking them.
The atmospheric changes in the text are wild.
The text gets very poetic suddenly. It says the rain starts to fall. The moon begin to wake.
The imagery there is surprisingly beautiful. The ground started to shine.
That's a classic film noir trope. Wet pavement reflecting the neon lights.
But practically speaking, rain is a complete disaster for a film crew.
Right, so don't get the camera. Wet takes on a double meaning. It's the hot tub splashing, sure, but it's also the rain pouring down. They are literally fighting the elements.
It adds so much to the texture of the struggle. This isn't a sunny, easy afternoon in LA.
No.
It's a nocturnal, wet, difficult shoot. The moon begin to wake personifies the night. It feels like the world itself is coming alive to challenge them.
And yet, through all the rain and the forgotten lines and the panic, they just keep repeating the mantra, we making big moves now.
Making big moves.
Huh.
That is the justification for all the stress.
It's the thesis statement of the whole operation.
Exactly. The panic is just the price of admission for the big moves. If you aren't panicking, you probably aren't moving fast enough.
But to really understand what big moves means to this narrator, we have to look at where they are moving from.
Yes. This was the part that really grounded the whole narrative for me, the origin story.
The text absolutely refuses to let us forget that this is a journey. We get very specific references to Brooklyn and the concrete jungle.
Brooklyn be hunting. That line is aggressive.
It is. It frames his home turf not as a supportive community, but as a predator.
Or perhaps it means it's a place where you have to become the predator just to survive.
And then there is the reference that really jumps out. Warriors is coming.
We have to assume this is a direct nod to the 1979 cult film The Warriors.
Warriors come out to play.
Exactly. And think about the plot of that movie. It is about a gang trying to fight their way from the Bronx all the way back to Coney Island.
Right, it's a survival run. It's a gauntlet.
By invoking the Warriors, the artist is connecting this Hollywood trip to that exact survivalist mentality. He is saying we are still fighting our way through hostile territory.
It completely reframes the five-star hotel. It is not a vacation spot. It is just another piece of turf they have conquered.
Precisely. And the text openly acknowledges the vast distance they've traveled. We started in the hardest places in the concrete jungle.
That contrast is vital. The bubbling hot tub only matters because of the hardest places. The luxury is entirely defined by its opposite.
And there's a moment, I think it's my favorite moment in the whole text, where the bravado slips for just a second.
I know the one.
He says, I don't even know how we got here.
It's the pinch me moment.
It's so honest. After all the my plane and my ladies, he just stops the track and admits, I don't know how this happened.
That is imposter syndrome in its absolute purest form.
It really is.
It's that sudden vertigo of success. You look down and realize exactly how high up you are, but notice how quickly he corrects it.
Right away.
He says, I don't even know how we got here. Now we big movie stars.
He patches the hole in his confidence immediately. Now we big movie stars. It is an affirmation.
It's an identity shift. He is telling himself a brand new story to make sense of his reality.
I belong here because I am a big movie star.
Right.
It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. He has to say it out loud to believe it, especially when the rain is falling and he is forgetting his lines on set.
Do you think that is why the text is so incredibly repetitive? We talked about the word now, but
Yeah.
phrases like quiet on the set and my plane just landed loop over and over again.
Repetition in this context acts exactly like an incantation.
Oh, I like that.
If you say it enough times, it becomes true. My plane just landed. My plane just landed.
He is hammering the stake into the ground.
Exactly. I am here. This is real. It anchors him against that panic he feels creeping in.
It also creates this really hypnotic effect for the listener. It feels like a GIF or a TikTok loop. Just flash of the plane, flash of the water, flash of the camera.
It mimics the chaotic memory of a really big night out. You don't remember those nights linearly. You just remember the flashes.
That is a great observation. It is a montage. The text isn't a detailed diary entry. It is an edit. It is jump cuts.
And that disjointed style perfectly reinforces the evacuation theme. It feels rushed. It feels like time is actively compressing around him.
So let's circle back to that title, Evacuation. We touched on the 15-hour deadline. But do you think evacuation implies escaping the concrete jungle?
I think it works on a couple of levels. Level one is literal, evacuating the hotel room before they get charged for another night or before the hotel staff kicks them out.
Right.
But level two is metaphorical, evacuating the hardest places of the past, escaping poverty.
But here's the catch, and this is what this whole text really highlights for me. You evacuate the hardest place, but you land in a panic. You don't actually evacuate the stress.
No, you don't. If you just trade survival stress for performance stress.
You trade Brooklyn to hunting for quiet on the set.
The anxiety doesn't disappear. It just changes tax brackets.
That is a heavy realization. We tend to think, oh, once I make it, I can finally relax.
But this transcript says the exact opposite.
It says once you make it, the clock starts ticking, T minus 15 hours, the cameras are rolling. Do not mess up your lines.
And don't get the camera wet. You have so much more to lose now.
Right.
In the concrete jungle, you have nothing to lose. But in the five-star hotel, you have a reputation. You have a government and a cover to maintain. The stakes are infinitely higher.
So making big moves is actually just signing up for bigger, more expensive problems.
In a way, yes. But the text absolutely frames it as a glorious problem to have.
It does. The text ends on a challenge, almost an invitation. He says, now we big movie stars, y'all ready?
Y'all ready? He is talking directly to us, the audience.
He is inviting us right into the chaos.
He is saying, look at this mess, look at this rain, look at me forgetting my lines. Isn't it magnificent?
It is a celebration of the mess. It is not a polished PR release. It is the raw, unedited footage. And I think that is why it is so compelling to analyze.
We're so used to seeing the finished product. The music video with the perfect color grading and the seamless edits.
Exactly. We rarely get to read the transcript of the guy yelling about the towels in the rain.
It demystifies the process while somehow amplifying the achievement. It shows that being a movie star is actually really hard work, physically and mentally.
It involves wet socks and angry directors.
Yes.
So if we strip away the beats and the melody and just look at this text purely as a document of human experience, what is the core takeaway?
I think the core takeaway here is about the persistence of the hunter mindset.
Okay.
He says, Brooklyn be hunting, but he is still hunting in L.A. He's hunting for the shot, he's hunting for the status, hunting for the validation.
The environment changes from concrete to marble floors, but the drive stays the same.
Exactly. That warrior spirit has to remain constant. Because if you start hunting, you get evacuated for real.
You lose the room.
You lose the room.
It reminds me of that idea that you can take the person out of the struggle, but you can't take the struggle out of the person. It becomes their engine.
And the panic. The panic is the fuel. He says no need to panic, but I think he knows deep down that the panic is exactly what keeps him sharp.
That is a terrifying thought. We just run on panic.
Keeps the heart rate up.
Well, this has been a wild ride. We went from a private jet to a rainy street corner, dealt with a linguistic mystery about cleaning government, and ended up psychoanalyzing the nature of ambition.
Just another day on the deep dive.
Indeed. So as we wrap up, here's something for you to think about as you go about your day. We all have our own version of making big moves, whether it's a new job, a big project, we're just trying to upgrade our lives.
So here is the question. When you finally get there, when you get the big movie star equivalent in your own life, are you actually prepared for the quiet on the set moments?
We spend so much time fantasizing about the destination, the bubbling hot tub. But are you ready for the panic that comes with maintaining it?
Does the evacuation ever truly end, or are we all just moving to the next location waiting for the director to yell action?
Something to chew on while you're stuck in traffic. Or on your private jet.
If you're listening on a private jet, invite us next time.
We promise not to get the camera wet.
We'll try our best.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We'll catch you on the next one.
Take care, everyone.